Alrighty. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, Vic. All right, let me shout out my members. Generally, Jenny, shout out to you. Let me see. Gumby in the house. Gumby. Oh, I'm getting there. Slowly but surely getting there. I'm going to retest tomorrow. Hopefully praying that it's negative, okay? Just keep me in your thoughts and prayers and my family as well. What's good? What's good? Hey, wait, Brenda. Welcome, Bobby. Shout out to all my members. It's me, Heather. How are you doing? Yes. All right. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Peekaboo, shout out to you. Hit the like button while you're coming in. Hey, Lily, welcome. You guys. Oh, you find Aquarius, thank you for letting me know that you finally got your notifications. I'm so happy to hear that. Minnesota girl, I'm calling it out. Okay? I'm just going to say that. Let's start right there. I'm calling this shit out. I think it's fake. I think it's fake. Okay? But before I even go there, let me see where everybody else is at. Hey there. All right. South Africa. Shout out to everybody from South Africa. Make sure you guys put where you guys from? Put your international flags down if you're international. Shout out to you. Hey, SW 4x4 Explorer. I checked the email. I didn't see your email in there, my love. I don't know if you meant to email me or not. I kept an eye on it, but I saw you. Hey, Christy, welcome back, guys. Trace, Providence, Rhode Island. You know what? That was the most misspelled word for me. Back in the day when you used to do your capitals and your states and capitals and stuff like that. I remember I used to have to remember how to spell everything, and for whatever reason, Providence was not only hard for me to spell, but very hard for me to say because English was not my second language. Or, excuse me, English was my second language. Hey, Ultra, welcome. Yes, Wisconsin, new subscriber. Shout out to our new subscribers. Thank you so much. I love your picture, by the way. You are gorgeous. Nebraska. Bunch of baloney. Vic, is the audio real? And let me get my secondary device going so I can keep a better eye on this chat if I remember my password. Damn it. What's my password? What is it? I got another little iPad here, which if I don't have any mods in the house, it kind of helps out a little bit to, mod and stuff. But let me get that going right now. Here we go. And make sure I don't hear myself because I'm pretty sure it's not muted. Excuse me. And then I'm still a little hoarse. I know I sound like it. I don't know if you guys hear it. Shout out to everybody from Facebook. Thank you so much for the beautiful heart that you left me on Facebook. And I think I could see the name. Let me see. Alicia, shout out to you. Thank you. Yes, and hit the like button. I think I'm gonna say this. I want to hit my like goal for 325. I would love to hit 325. You look great. I know I still sound like I'm very congested right here, yo. Let me tell you something. I've been sick. I remember back in Hey Brienne, welcome. Back in oh shit, like what year was it? This was years ago. Obama was still in office. That's how long ago this was. The swine flu. Do you guys remember the swine flu? Oh, I got so sick from that. I remember I had to take some. I went to the hospital. I was so sick from the swine flu, and that's when there was like a death toll being reported. So I said, "Damn, man! If the swine flu doesn't get me, like, oh my gosh." But anyways, everybody's like, "Yes, sorry." You guys remember swine flu? It was horrible. It was horrible. I would say that that's the equivalent of COVID, if I remember, and this was 14, 15 years ago. You had the H1N1. There you go. Ooh, sorry guys. I remember it being called the swine flu. Man, and then it's from these animals, and then people are like, "Well, people are eating these animals, and you're not supposed to be eating these animals, and you're not washing your hands." Anyways, it is what it is. Hey, Ramona, welcome. Yes, generally Jenny. Okay. You know what, generally Jenny? That's a great point. Okay. So I'm assuming you guys want to start with the audio, or do you guys want to start with our girl Ashley, not my girl, but your guys' girl. I'm just talking about her. You want to talk about Ashley, or do you want to talk about the audio? Which one is it? Because I'd like to know. I like to know. Vote it in the chat. I didn't even put a poll. Are we talking about the audio, or are we talking about Ashley? Crazy lady, audio. Okay, let's see the first 5 votes. What comes in, and I'm gonna look at my other device. crazy lady I take is Ashley. That's what you're saying, Vic. Christina, welcome. All right, let me see. I got 1, 2. Hey, quick brown fox. Uh, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, I guess we're gonna start with wait. This is going too fast. Let me count. I'm trying to count, you guys. I'm trying to multitask. I know. Um, audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but I have 1, 2. Let's see, 3, 4. All right, so in the next one, all right, audio wins. We're gonna start with audio. Audio wins. I'm looking at the votes, guys, and I went by. Next time I'll have a poll. I promise, a little bit more organized. Hey, heels in the air, welcome. Okay, we're gonna start with audio. So, who leaked the audio? That's the biggest thing right now. Who and what and all that other stuff. Did audio win? Audio did win. Okay, cool. Sorry, I got sidetracked. ADHD. So, who was it? I think it was the Bullhorn Betty channel. Okay, and I say that with an eye roll. Bullhorn Betty channel. Okay, who leaked the audio? Now, the audio, honestly, it was already on TikTok. I went to TikTok and found it on TikTok. That's where I found it. I didn't want to listen. Like, I heard about her video having it, but I said, I'm not going to listen to 2 hours and then not actually being presented to where it needs to be. Clearly, the lady ran the live for, I don't know, an hour and a half and then presented it at the hour. What is it? The second hour. Okay. So, consider the source. Yes. Vic, look at you guys. You guys are not messy whatsoever. Hey, Shelly, thank you. So I went to TikTok and I found it on TikTok. Okay. Now, I'm with Generally Jenny on this one that at this point, like, doesn't make sense, like, to even air it. Quite honestly, it's not anywhere on YouTube as far as like what is it, a bigger media source? Like it's not in the affidavit, all right? Let's just get this straight. The only one that actually made it to any type of media source was this like insider TV thing, okay? This is the audio that I remember everybody talking about where they heard about the screams and they weren't sure if it was actually the Idaho 4. Yes, look at you guys with your red tomatoes. Shout out to the red tomato crew. Yes, yes. You haven't heard it? And it's very disturbing. It's disturbing, but what does like I don't know, nothing is authenticated. There's been a bunch of TikTokers that have talked about it and then they brought it over to YouTube, but I don't think it's real. I don't think it's real whatsoever. That's the wrong timeline. I don't think any of the audio is real. The body cam, is this from the Inside Edition one that you're talking about, Ultra Dark? That the body cam is the wrong timeline from the time of the murders? This what I'm saying is that this is the only video that I had ever seen that actually showed or talked about actual screamings or something to that effect. Other than that, I don't feel like there is anything out there. Sounds like someone is calling their dog with the television in the background. That's it. That's it just sounded so off. Now, generally, Jenny, I'm totally there with you. I feel like if it has no source, where are you at, Vic? Says if it has no source or they can't provide details, where's the audio from? Then it's bogus. They can't. I went straight to TikTok. I went straight to the person that leaked it, and there is no source. Like, and not only that, it's from the iPhone, and they like played it back or whatever, and they slowed it down. There is nothing. How do we know? We don't even have a timestamp. You haven't heard about it? There's an audio. I think it's bogus. I There's a leak audio from a neighbor's camera, and I think this is the one that they're referencing, the one with the Ring camera. What's the other kind of camera? Is it the Nest? You can have a Ring and a Nest or something like that. One is with like Google, and the other one's with Amazon, or I don't know, something like that. But there is no source to it. So I heard it, and it's disturbing in the sense that you hear somebody, like, screaming and crying. You do hear that, okay? I've heard that scream 3 times in my life. It's disgusting that it's all online. So, I would not be hearing so much from the neighbor's house from the inside, no way. FBI would take it. That's what I'm saying, Heels. It's just none of this shit is making sense to me. So to me, it's like, I'm not like, are these people look, that's what I said. Is this like another Joseph Morris shit at this point? Like, let me tell you something interesting about the Joseph Morris thing. That stream where he decided to release this audio that he took from another YouTuber, okay? And he decided to alter it with his little altering stuff and then say that the neighbor had give it to him and this is new stuff, whatever. That video actually he was also showcasing Bullhorn Betty's and the other girls docu-series of Idaho 4. So to me, the apple doesn't fall from far from the tree as far as how these people report or how they talk about each other. And that's just my opinion, you know? They can't pick up neighbors' voices. I mean, did they get a super upgraded version of a Ring camera or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's the same one, but I would say I think it's a fake. I think it's a fake. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's on TikTok. The lines from the affidavit that are from witness testimonies are in the leaked audio. The lines from the excuse me, that are from witness testimony are in the leaked audio. Huh. I'm looking at your comment, Jenny. It's so convenient that it leaks right after we get the affidavit. It's lines pulled right from it. And the same, generally, Jenny, look, I love her. She says, and the name Brian being said, too convenient to somebody kind of like putting it together and saying that this is audio from that's been leaked. Yeah, I shouldn't use docuseries. I don't know what to call it. Catherine, help me find a word to call it. It did, Caprice. It came right after. Heard it over and over and still got nothing that indicates a murder. Girl laughing somewhere, whistling for a dog, yelling at someone, but I think the TV's on the background. Funny, right? Funny how it's the affidavit and then suddenly, like generally Jenny said, the leak audio is leaked. I need to get a Scooby-Doo van up in my, channel, like, for GIFs. I wonder if someone hacked in the neighbor's Ring camera account. I don't know, girl. Pressy, I don't know. I don't know. The authorities would have every video from that neighbor. They would know where it came from. Absolutely. Talk about irony. It's the irony, right? It's a coincidences. Sis. You know what? He's gonna solve this damn case. You already know. Wait. I mean, by his standards and his way of moving, you guys, we got to figure it out. Just leave it up to them. They would have solved it today. Today. Um, so for those that are curious, I'm not going to play the audio here, but the thumbnail does show the picture of the person who has the audio. If you're wanting to see it, please go to TikTok. But I'm telling you right now that the audio to me seems like a fake and a fraud and a phony. And it's very much a convenience. Like generally, Jenny said, isn't it convenient that the affidavit or the alpha David, as Ikmel, as that caller was said, I was very sick when I heard that too. So it's funny. As the alpha David would say it, right? Um, Somehow that call follows everything that the affidavit says. Some of these people have to stop with this sensationalism of this shit. The only time I've heard of any type of audio, if anything, was from Inside Edition. This video clip right here that I actually played a couple weeks ago. Yes, Alpha David. It's not an affidavit, it's an Alpha David. That's what we're Did you guys watch that? And shout out to Ikamel. He had a caller who he I thought it was a troll initially. Um That was hilarious. I died, and I was really sick with COVID. So I'm sitting there, like, laughing, and I'm just like, "Did he really just say Alpha David?" He said that Alpha David was gonna be interviewed. Anyways, it was I don't know if it could have been a troll. I don't know. You know that guy David? You know that guy David? Yeah, Alpha David, he's gonna be interviewed, yes. We'll find out. Tuesday killed me. Tuesday never Vic, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, thank you, Ultra. Yes. Yeah, Ickmel channel. Troll or not a troll? It was great. It was great. Yo, I had one here, you guys. Um, was it was the day of the arrest? Was it the day of the arrest? And I was really sick too. Was it New Year's, right? It was New Year's, right? Um, somebody talk about trolls. Somebody was in my chat from the Facebook group, okay? Or from the Facebook. Shout out to everybody from the Facebook. Tiffany, thank you for the heart. Um, yo, hey Manny, welcome. Somebody was in my chat and said that they went out to lunch with Brian Koberger and couldn't believe that this was going on and that they knew him and all this. I was sitting there like, and it literally took us, I wanna say a good 45 minutes of our stream with me telling him to hit the link because he's, like, acting like he had information, and he was trolling my chat. He messaged me, and I have all those messages in there, and I almost feel like maybe I should upload that portion, and the guy was a troll. He was a troll. He was trying to insert himself into this. There are people out there that unfortunately yeah, the dude was he was so weird. There are people out there that unfortunately will insert themselves in such cases for no reason, like notoriety, I don't know, whatever it gives them. "Hey there, Nicole, welcome." I don't know. I don't know. So, I'm not playing the audio, but I'm gonna call it right now, I think it's a fake. And let me you know what? Let me do one thing better right here. Why don't I start a little poll? Do you believe that the audio is a fake? Yes, I believe the audio is a fake. Yes, fake. No, real. I wonder if we have any ballsy people that are gonna select no. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the 9.99 super sticker. You said I reset? I resent. Oh, got you. Timeline at 5:30, 8:30 PM. Yes, PM. Brian goes to Clarkson, Idaho, which is due west of a huge state park and reservation with lots of water, hiking reservoir, and cemetery. Nez Pierce Park. So, do you want me to check my email now? Because I could check my email, my love. Let me do that right now. Ooh, SW. I think she's got us some tea right now. Let's see some not tea, but information. I gotta stop saying tea because it's just not appropriate for true crime, I think. Although there's some channels called like true crime tea, but I just don't like tea. Um, no email yet. Let me check my spam because I do get a lot of spam. I have to go back and redirect it. Okay, let me check my Google. Excuse me. Ooh, sorry. I'm also just letting you guys know, yeah, I don't see an email yet, but you said you resent it. Okay, I'll keep an eye on it. Don't know, have not heard of it. Okay. Did Jonathan Morris have anything to do with it? I, look for an email from LL Gents. Okay, I'll keep an eye on it. No email yet, but I'll keep an eye on it, okay? And again, this is just so you know, this is my email. Guys, if anybody wants to email me, let me show you my email so you guys can hit me up, whatever you might have that you want me to. This is my email right here, okay? Confirm your email. It's right on the thing, the rabbitblogger at protonmail.com. That is my email. I'm not really sure if you're sending it there, but check it out. More nasty. You guys are funny. Who thinks the audio is real? Yes. Who thinks the audio is real? Did somebody say yes? I know you guys are. No, the audio's not. Okay. 64 votes. Hey, Darcy, welcome. Hey, Sheila, welcome, guys. Make sure you hit the like button while you're coming in. Thank you so much. It definitely helps me in the algorithm. And our goal today for today's stream is 325 likes. And I believe that we can reach 325. Okay? Truly, truly. So if you're watching the replay, please hit the like button. All right. You think it's Ramona, you think the audio is real? It seems real? Gotta love having a wild card. Not today. You haven't heard it? I'm not playing it. It's on TikTok. I heard the audio and I thought it was weird. The audio was released. Yes. But listen here. My member, generally Jenny, I think she pointed out exactly what I was thinking too. Isn't it convenient that this audio was released right after the affidavit? Rose, I haven't heard it. Okay. Trace brings up a good point. She says real, but not related. So do you think that it's real, but not related to anything? I don't know. I don't think it's real. I don't think it's real. Thank you so much, Brandy. I don't think it's real. Police would not have released and leaked any audio. Yeah, and where is the leak coming from? I'm always very leery when people say this is a release audio. If real, the sound didn't come from the house. Earl, yes, just not the murders. All right, let me check this poll real quick. Let me check these polls and see where's everybody at. All right, we got 88 votes. So we still have 10% that say no, it's real. Do you believe that the audio is fake? Yes, fake. No, real. Oh my gosh. Do I have some trolls in here? Y'all are messing up my poll. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get to 100%. There's some people that really do believe that this audio is real. It's a Joseph Morris clone. Girl, right, Vic? Right? Mm-mm-mm. I don't know. I hear screams like the F out whispering. Yeah, I mean, it's concerning. But again, you guys can find, and the dog is, I did hear a dog barking. Did somebody put it together? Potentially. There is a gag order. Thank you for saying that. And the cops and prosecutors are not going to jeopardize this case. I don't think so. So another thing I want to talk about, and shout out to Cinema Shogun, okay, because I was watching his video earlier and I was thinking about this too. So BTK killer, okay, bind, torture, and kill, the infamous BTK killer. There, people were trying to make a connection between BTK and Brian in the sense that they had somehow had a connection. They had spoken to each other. Not so, okay? Um, I think his daughter had also put that out there, and BTK actually wrote an email, okay, and basically squash those allegations. He hasn't had any conversations with Brian. That's what to clear that up. Okay. So you guys go watch Cinema Shogun. He did a really good video on it. And I was kind of curious about this too, because, you know, as soon as you say BTK killer and somehow there's a connection and yeah, the stuff will go crazy. There's a really good, and let me show you guys right now. Um, and I might even, I don't know if I'm able to play this, but Brian Enton, shout out to him. He's actually going to be doing a Twitter Spaces today, and actually in about 5 minutes or so. Um, and this is going to be really good. I think that this is going to be really awesome. I saw him at some point in there posted. Manny says that's not a scream. I'm a fan of the paranormal and believe that in EVPs, but this is not a scream. It's just random noise. Manny, did you hear? So you heard the whole sound? Do you think that there's some type of like, I don't know. I don't think it's audio from there. I think somebody put it together. I no, I haven't played it, and I'm not going to. I haven't played it, and I'm not going to because it's just so. Mm, it's on TikTok. You guys check it out if you want to watch it there. It's just not. It's not productive. You hear a man So you hear a voice screaming. I'm not even going to say a man. You hear somebody screaming. They replay certain parts of the audio. They go back and they speculate. They slow it down, but we don't know the origins of the audio, and I just don't like that. I don't like that. I wouldn't play it. I thought it was BTK's daughter who spoke, not him. Yeah, she did, and she said that she thought that there was some connection because of the author, the professor that was somehow the doctor that was in the middle of she met him, and then she taught Brian. Well, it turns out that BTK never actually had any kind of communication with Brian, so that that allegation can be squashed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's an interesting, let me see if I can find Mr. Brian Enton's um here you go. Latest on Idaho murder. Ooh, let's do a live listen. Join
To
spaces.
all of your audience members, I do apologize. And
no, you're
Brian.
fine. You know, I was
Drop a
thinking you
rabbit on the
guys were
chat
on
if
your
you can
way to
hear me.
dinner, and I was like, oh,
Can you guys hear it?
They got to dinner. It's like,
no, we actually are home again. So, but thank you, Brian. And I apologize. Do you recall where I was leading? You have something else you want me to go into?
yes. So, well,
Can you
just a
guys
few
hear
more
it?
questions because I know you don't have a ton of time. But
Okay.
when we were talking about the cell phone pings, I've heard from some lawyers that some of that evidence can be fought in court, that it's not always rock solid. Is that true?
So, and this is where I'll be careful because the FBI is very careful in the particular cases that some of their assets and some of the methodology in how it's utilized or how it's publicized. Because generally, and I'll be quite frank, that generally those assets are reserved for national security cases, counterterrorism cases, terrorism cases, those cases that we certainly can appreciate why those assets would be utilized. Given the nature of what had occurred in Moscow, Idaho, I think it was right and appropriate for obviously the local authorities to invite and ask the FBI for their assistance. And I think that I'm going to say that the technology and the assets that were used in this particular case, I'm not going to say it's bulletproof, but I'm more than confident that the reliability of the information that was extrapolated with respect to capturing cell phone activity during a period of time on a particular date in a particular location is pretty bulletproof, and I would say that it's pretty reliable in this case.
Okay, so you think it'll hold
well
up?
let me just put it this way, Brian, into your audience. So at the end of the day, once they do use this technology to ping phones, obviously, whether you're, whoever your cellular carrier is, a grand jury subpoena or a subpoena is going to go out to that cell phone company. And you know that your cell phone company is going to have a record of your usage at that particular time on that particular date. And so that's going to be very hard for him to refute, because if it shows that at 3:34 on November 13th, you are in a particular location with your cell phone being activated, and then it goes dead, and then all of a sudden it's powered up at, let's say, 4:40 a.m. at a particular location on November 13th, listen, I guess you could try to cross-examine as to, why there is that gap. But again, this case is circumstantial. I think it would be more than easily understandable from a prospective jurors, uh, you know, a field listening to all this evidence come in, that it certainly is more likely than not that it was him or it was his cell phone. Now, look, this guy could come forward and say, look, I didn't even have my cell phone. Someone stole my cell phone out of my room or out of my apartment. And, I don't know where my cell phone was on November 13th. But I think, obviously, that's not going to happen in this case.
Right. And what about and then I'll let you go. One final question to maybe Paige, and then we'll let Paige ask one final question. But like there was so much that we were told early on that changed when the probable cause affidavit came out. I don't want to say that we were misled by the police, but clearly they were not wanting the suspect to know what they were doing behind the scenes. Like we thought the roommates were asleep. Turns out the one was awake. And then things were cleared up now by this probable cause. Do you think as more evidence comes out, there's going to be even more that that is going to change in terms of what we were initially told?
I think if there's anything that I would say is going to change is the immediacy of the timeline of when the police were first notified in connection with after the roommate goes and confronts him in the hallway, and then it's reported that she goes back into her bedroom and locks herself in the bedroom, and then he's observed, or he leaves through the slider through the hallway. I think that timeline, meaning that I think there's reporting that apparently a 911 call was not made until much later in the day, meaning, sometime after 11 o'clock or even after 11.
Yeah, 11:58.
Okay, 11:58. Yeah. Now, look, there are people that are speculating, and I think it's misguided with, whether or not this girl was complicit, or how is it possible that she would be so cowering for 6 or 7 hours before she would be able to collect herself to make that call. I'm not so sure that in fact is true. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it is possible that what she observed and what she witnessed, and keep in mind, it has not been told as to whether or not after she locked herself in that room, is it possible that after he left, she exited her bedroom and then unfortunately fell upon what she must have seen, which we can only imagine was the most horrific crime scene. And then did she then really go into some physical and mental shock, where then it's quite possible she was so numb and so paralyzed by fear that it took her 6 or 7 hours to pick up her phone and make that call. I believe that timeline is going to change.
Exactly.
So when you say that, do you think that there's a call to police earlier that we just don't know about? Is that what you mean?
Well, look, that's going to be something that's going to be disclosed, because there is something called the dispatch report, or the CAD report, which is going to log in the receipt of who placed that call from what particular phone at what particular location and at what particular time. And more importantly, it's a recorded line, so that call will be captured, and that recording at some point will be turned over to the defense, and quite possibly turned over and made public. So look, there is a huge gap in time, because if you take 4:30, let's just assume at 4:30 he exited the property, and you take your time almost at noontime. I mean, do the arithmetic. You're talking about just 7 hours, right? 7+ hours. For her to be cowering in fear, basically just frozen in fear.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. And it's just interesting to think about how we have all had been covering the story, people following it. We've all mapped this out in our mind and come up with this timeline, but it could change.
It's going to change. And I think that by way of example is that was omitted from the probable cause affidavit, and it was done, I think, by design, and it was done intentionally. I think that's all going to play out in the near future.
Because they don't have to give us all the details or the whole timeline.
No, not at this point. That is correct.
Okay.
Do you have a question? Yeah, I have a question about the car, and then like the strategy behind the whole looking for the car. So as we read the documents, we find out that they knew about the car, and they pretty quickly linked it to Bryan Kohberger as soon as like end of November, right? Like November 29th. What is the reason and the law enforcement strategy to continue to ask the public over and over again about the car? acting like they didn't know what the car was when they really did and they were following him? Is
Ooh.
that just to keep them off their trail, or what's the strategy
Again, because they were in the process. First of all, DNA processing generally can take anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks, meaning to completely develop a DNA profile, and also to await toxicology reports and other forensic reports that they were awaiting to get. And I think quite correctly, they wanted not to set this guy off or to let this guy know that he was a target or a subject of this criminal investigation. And so they basically lulled him into a false sense of security. And I think, and let me just tell you, the proof is in the pudding, because if he in any way thought, now look, again, this guy thinks he's smarter than everybody else, but he really is not. But let's just, by way of example, and this is, listen, I'm not trying to advocate that someone would do this or should do this, but if he had any inclination that they had identified his car, I think someone who's a real criminal, because the only credit I give him is, he's got this educational background, but clearly he failed at being an expert in how to commit a crime and get away with it. Someone may take their car and burn it and dispose of that vehicle. The fact that he thought he could drive that car and then eventually get into that car and drive across the country, he was fooled. They lulled him into a certain degree of sense of feeling that no one is following him, no one has identified his vehicle, meaning his particular vehicle. And I think that worked as again, a credit to the strategy that was implemented in this case.
His name is Stuart Kaplan. That's who's talking.
Really, it seems like they overall did a good job. I mean, we were hard on them a couple of nights, and the police I'm talking about, and some of the families and the community even, but now we can see they were really working hard behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think it all came together, and really textbook. I mean, really, really textbook example of local, state, and federal counterparts coming together, working together.
He's a former FBI agent.
And working together for really putting this all together. It was an amazing job. And really, as I tell most people, everybody's fixated on watching, HBO or Netflix, all these things that we watch as far as entertainment. It does not happen over, 60 minutes. And if you watch a Netflix series, 7 episodes, this is not real life. Real life, crime fighting can take days, weeks, and months, and sometimes even longer. And I will tell you, given the magnitude and the breadth of what took place here, the fact that from November 13th, and it just took them just about 6 or 7 weeks to solve this, I think it was really an incredible testament and the fortitude of the men and women who they sacrificed their Thanksgiving, their Christmas, their holidays, their families to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to get this guy.
Yeah,
Brian, I want to ask Stuart one more question if he has time.
Please.
Stuart, Ashley just messaged this to me on Twitter, and I think it's a really good question. Is there a world where law enforcement has the murder weapon right now and we just don't know it?
That's a great question. And so
that is a good question. Wow.
Yes. And that may have shown up either when they apprehended him at his parents' house, or they searched his vehicle. That is something that could have happened after the fact. I think, though, that had they had the murder weapon, that is something that I would have thought would definitely have been included in the probable cause affidavit. So it is possible that after the apprehension, they may now have the murder weapon.
Great question. Yeah.
And keep in mind also, by the way, the fact that they had the sheath, that is something that is easily recognizable as far as the manufacturer of that particular type of, holster for that particular knife. And it's something that has not been publicized yet, but I guarantee it has been done. They now are able to more certainly go back to, sportsman stores or, stores that would be in that surrounding area, whether in Washington or in Idaho, to now go back and pull purchase receipts people who may have purchased that type of knife, and then they're able to then retrieve surveillance footage of him actually purchasing that particular knife on a particular day before the crimes were committed. And that, by the way, they may have that type of evidence and that type of information. Again, that may be something they're holding back.
Ooh.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, I think it's just a good reminder for all of us that there's a lot we don't know, and that we were, intentionally misled for a while for the sake of the investigation.
Intentionally misled.
So it's really interesting.
SW
well, Stuart, thank you for coming.
Always my pleasure, and
thank you,
my
Stuart.
pleasure, and to everybody who's listening, happy and healthy and safe New Year, and it's always my pleasure. God bless. Thank you.
All right, have a good rest of the weekend. All right, bye.
Brian, we're getting so many questions from people, rightfully so. We should have them keep sending, and maybe we can do one of these after our special on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. If there's unanswered stuff after the special.
Yeah, keep sending them to me. I love seeing your guys' questions. There's a lot of really good ones out there. I wish I was savvy enough to try to get through all of them at this time, but
we might be able to get some of the guests from the special to maybe come on.
Yeah.
And answer some questions after. So, also, I just want to say, like, a lot of people are DMing me this TikTok video. And just so you know, thank you for sending it to me. Where we are looking into it. It's not there's so much like fake stuff online. So, we don't obviously put anything in our stories or tweet anything until we have stuff verified.
Did you guys hear that?
I look into everything you guys send me. So thank you.
Yep, that's one of the things on rumor control. The other rumor control we're trying to look into is there's some speculation about potential involvement in Facebook groups and Reddit threads and things like that. All things we're kind of looking into on our end as well.
What TikTok
so
video?
Special 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. We're working really hard on it. We'll be working on it tonight more. And Paige, thank you so much for all your hard work as always. I really appreciate it. And I think anything else, Paige? I think that's pretty much it.
I think that's it. Hope you watch. Brian, you'll tweet out the How to Find News Nation. If you don't know how to watch us yet, I'll tweet it out too. You can find the link, type in your zip code, watch it live, DVR us. Once again, keep sending us and me your questions. And we'll keep digging at this as much as we can, because we've said it from the beginning, but finding justice to this thing is really the most important.
Yep, for sure. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Paige. Everybody have a good night.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Okay. Let me stop sharing this space real quick. Okay. Now I got this big old map on my face. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay. Let me go back a little bit. Hey, Tinkletits, thank you so much for the generous channel donation. I appreciate you. I got it. Thank you. And I hope you're feeling better, because I know you were just as sick as I am, and I'm still a little congested, as you can hear. But I gotta stop for a little bit and acknowledge a couple people. Shout out to SW. We're going to talk a little bit about your comment, and I did just get your email, and I posted that picture up that you sent me. Thrasher, welcome to the membership. Is it Sinri 199? I'm not going to be having a call in. Part of it is because I'm so congested right now. And I'm only here for a couple minutes, but I might do that maybe tomorrow after the Twitter Spaces. And maybe the Twitter Spaces is something that we could talk about here, because I definitely like the couple points that they had made. And so maybe check us out tomorrow, and we'll see if we can do like a call in tomorrow. Let me see. Sinner, thank you for the also super chat. Chico, I hope you're doing okay. Reach out to me if you need anything. I just saw your comment. And let me know if you need anything, okay? Shout out to you, Chico. I think the Twitter Spaces would be fun. Okay, but I just left my own studio. Sorry about that. I want to go back a little bit, okay? I want to go back a little bit. Somehow I left the own studio to a comment that was made. Oh my God, I lost it. And I had highlighted it here a couple times. Let me see if I can go back to it real quick. Here it is. SW 4x4 Explorers. Shout out to you. So she sent me something, and I thought it was an important thing to highlight, was the map, okay? And I don't know, it sounds like Redditors might have done this map. Shout out to the Redditors, but She says page 17 of the affidavit shows last ping and phone off from 5:30, okay, 8:30. Who hikes alone at night? Cold as AF. I would bury a knife in a cemetery so I could retrieve it. So they talked a little bit about the knife in that Twitter Spaces. We don't know a whole lot. What we do know is that the public was intentionally misled, and I think rightfully so, was something that had to have happened for us to be able to, you know, consume and not be a hindrance to that investigation. I honestly don't blame law enforcement for that. I think that if law enforcement has the capability to do that, to build the case to ensure that this man goes to jail and is tried, yeah, more power to law enforcement. And I hope that they do what they have to do to preserve the integrity. I can't hike alone at night. There's bobcats and coyotes. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. And that's what 4x4 was saying. Shout out to her. She said, "So who hikes alone at night?" Especially like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. We didn't need to know everything because they had to build a case. That's what they do, as they should. So I'm not mad at law enforcement for that. I think it makes me have a different perspective as how they treat this case, you know. And shout out to Thrasher who said, he's from Singapore and he's been following this case for quite some time. Law enforcement kind of does this all the time in cases. There's a hyper focused ones. Yeah. Yeah. And Cash, shout out to you, Cash, for joining. Thank you. Um, Your brother does? He hikes all the time? That's crazy, yo. Especially bobcats. Like, no. But the man that spoke, his name is Stuart Kaplan, and he is a former FBI agent. That is who we heard. Okay, so that was kind of nice. Definitely we'll be following. I'm gonna follow them right now. But maybe what we'll do is we'll have the Twitter spaces on my channel and just kind of listen and see what's up. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what's up. Now let's move on. I want to talk a little bit about our not my girl. That's your guys' girl. Ashley, what are you doing? Listen, Ashley's not giving any AFs. She's not. She's over this. She's not giving anything. She's not giving anything. You sent more pictures? Sorry. Oh, okay. I'll look through. I don't know if I could pull them up all, and I think it's because I'm in the stream, but I will definitely try and we'll go over it tomorrow again if we need to. Yeah, Pamela, I know. I'm getting there and I'm trying not to overstress my voice. Yes, Ashley Thrasher, we got to talk about Ashley a little bit. Did you guys see what Ashley did? Did you guys see? Carissa says, I don't think the audio is real, but it stated that the security camera located less than 50 feet from Cronolo's bedroom picked up distorted audio of what sounded like voices or whimpered follow. Yes, but what we had found out was that this audio came out shortly after the affidavit. So I don't know. I don't know. And what did Brian Ensign said? He said, I see your guys' DMs and we're checking everything. Don't What did Vic say? Brian Ensign would be live right now talking about this audio if it was true. I call bullshit on the audio. I think it's a fake. I think the whoever put it out there on YouTube needs to know that it's a fake. So it's a fake. If the audio is fake, which I believe it be, then it's sick to another level. Yes, it is. I'm doubtful that it's real. Hey, Jen, welcome. Oh hell, Ashley strikes again. You haven't seen she strikes again, you guys. She's on it and at it. Yes. Let's talk about Ashley. You guys want to know what she did? You guys want to know what she did? Let me tell you what she did. Where you at, Ashley? Here you go.
Did y'all see the statement that the police made that Rebecca Scofield, there was no current connection with Rebecca Scofield in these crimes? This is exactly why when I said I was chosen for this or I was sent for this and that God sent me on a mission to help with this case, I'm literally the only one who has made the connection. Now you guys are going to see. This case opened the door for mass dissemination, thanks to Rebecca Scofield, her team of lawyers and their press release, mass dissemination of the truth. Because otherwise, it doesn't look like the police is going to solve this case. They literally just put a statement saying that there is no connection with the crimes in Rebecca Scofield. I'm literally the only one that can help with this right now. And I gladly take the responsibility. I gladly take whatever it is that I have to do to make it happen.
God.
And I'm grateful. Justice for Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, and Zana.
Ooh.
Did y'all see the
Oh
statement
my
that
God, you
the
guys.
police made
All right,
that
hold up.
Rebecca Scofield, there was no current connection with Rebecca Scofield in these crimes? This is exactly why when I said
let me go back. So she basically said she received a let me see if I can find the cease and desist. So I guess the Professor Scofield sent her a cease and desist and basically said that, you know, she's going to be keeping it next to her toilet paper where she wipes her ass with. That's that's what Ashely said. That's what Ashely said. Okay? I'm just trying to find that specific video. Video. Let's see. Where did it go? Hold up, guys. Before I head out, let me show you this. Maybe she has it on her own. And there's a couple of pages. I don't know if this is all her. I have a feeling that other people are creating pages for her. I don't know.
I took a nap. I tried to quit, but I can't quit. And I don't even want to cry on you, but when I went to sleep, I had a dream. And in the dream, it was Kaylee's mom and Kaylee's dad. And I was by Kaylee's mom, and we were just crying. And that is so hurtful. But anyway, I'm not going to quit. I've mistakenly let them lead me into masculine energy, which is protective energy, because of the lawsuits and all the negativity and the media and the comments and things of that sort. I've let them force me into masculinity, protective energy. But I should have continued to focus on what I know, which is feminine, intuitive, receptive energy. So I'm going to get back to that. So my resignation lasted a good of 5 hours, and I'm back.
She's back. She's back, you guys. She is back. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, I mean, I will drop the link for you if you want to give me your theory. I know you've been asking. I just wasn't going to be up here for too long. But if you're going to take, I can give you 5 minutes. I'm going to drop my StreamYard here in the chat if you want to click it. Again, I'm still congested, so I'm trying to take it easy. Hey, Kaylee, welcome. Mental health. You are not lying. Are you guys pulling up the tomatoes? Don't pull up the tomatoes. Come on, guys. I actually like Ashely. I just wish she would have gone a different path, though. Like psychic reading for, you know, murders and stuff like that. It's just not her thing, guys. It is not her thing. It is not her thing. Look at you guys. Oh my gosh. Hey, Winter Blue, I see you. Can you show me your face a little bit? That way, I just want to make sure I'm not getting porn bombed. I don't see you. Oh. Are you there? I just need you to show me your face. See if I can maybe I could put a banner up.
I didn't want it to be on the whole screen, but I was trying to show you my cam.
Okay, I think I see. Hey there, Winter. You could cover your face.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. What's up?
Okay. I know you're tired, and I'm so sorry.
No, just tell me, girl. Tell me, girl. What's up?
I just wanted to bring this up because there's been a lot of timelines and everything from the affidavit. First question, where did the Alpha David thing come from? Yeah, I know it was a joke, but where did that come from?
So it was, Vic, I know you were there. There's a couple, I think Brianne was there too. There's a couple of people that were there. We were in Ikamel's video show.
Okay.
It was a couple nights ago and he was having call-ins and there was a person that called in who was talking about law enforcement, how they were going to have this man who was going to speak, and his name was Affidavit. And what he meant to say was that the affidavit was going to be released on Tuesday. You were there too, generally, Jenny? Yeah.
Oh
Shout
my
out to,
gosh.
hey, Coffee Addict. Yeah. So we were just, it just became the joke of the
Okay.
evening. So ever since
Yeah.
this was like 3-4 days ago, and some of us
Yes.
still remembered. But anyways, that's where that
Yes.
came
And
from.
it's been on all the channels, and I've been
It's been
seeing
on
it.
all the
So
Mel's call in started something. But yeah.
yes. Okay. So we got the affidavit, we saw all of that. But one thing I wanted to say, and I feel really bad for Dylan, obviously, because none of us could ever understand what that looks like. Even if in looking at the house and the fact that he could have walked by her without even seeing her. So she could have just opened her door up a little bit, seen this masked person, whether she was drunk, on hallucinogenics, whatever the fact is. None of us know what that looks like. So I just feel bad for her that that happened. But I wanted to say this, because in looking at the house, especially because Xana got that like 4 a.m. DoorDash, this is just my theory, just me, walked into the kitchen or walked into the sliding glass door, got the DoorDash, walked into the kitchen, didn't lock the sliding glass door, was preparing her DoorDash delivery. I feel like Brian was already in the house and he'd already gone upstairs, did what he did, gone downstairs into Xana and Ethan's room, but I feel like Ethan was down there and he didn't suspect that Ethan was going to be there. And remember, the affidavit said that he was, I don't even know how to say this nicely, but like cut to the hamstrings, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense that he wanted to make sure that he couldn't get out of that bed. So it makes sense that he did that on his legs so he couldn't get up because he didn't suspect a male in that house. And when he walked back out, maybe Xana was coming out from the kitchen with her DoorDash. And that's why Dylan heard, because now Xana is confronted maybe at the bedroom to her, or the door to her bedroom, seeing Ethan bloodied whatever, and started crying. And that's why she said that. And he looks up and realizes Xana's standing there and says, "I'm here to help you." But she sees the knife, so she's not going to scream. She's not going to do anything. And that's why Dylan heard that and then locked herself in the room, whether she was inebriated, under the influence, whatever, but it kind of makes sense if you just go slowly, point by point, based on that second floor. It makes sense why he completely incapacitated Ethan. Like, why would he slash his legs? I don't think he suspected a male to be there because Ethan didn't live there.
I don't even think he was necessarily supposed to be there that night. At least that's what it sounds like.
Right.
That's not where he resides. I mean, his girlfriend's there, so he was there. But I don't know. The only thing, here's my question to you. Do you feel like the Brian was there, okay, already waiting for them? Like he had been there before? Do you think he's been inside this house before?
I don't feel like he's been inside the house before. We know that he has driven to that house and he's been on pings at least 12 times in the area. I think that worked to his advantage. And I think
Yeah.
he will use that in the court case. He will be like, oh, yeah, I was in the house. I don't think he was in the house.
Right.
I don't. I think that night he had showed up prior to the DoorDash. After all the roommates were there, I think he walked in to the sliding glass door when they were all in bed. Then Xana orders a DoorDash. He was in the house somewhere. I think he went upstairs.
Okay.
So he went upstairs with Maddie and Kaylee, and that's why Xana didn't see him. Does what he does, as sad as that sounds, but does what he does. And as he's coming back down, maybe that's the point that Xana's getting her DoorDash at that same sliding glass door and goes down into Xana and Ethan's room, sees a male, which he's not suspecting because he does not live there. And all of a sudden is like, this is a male that we have a problem, but he's passed out on the bed, probably face down. And that's why the hamstrings to the core were slashed. Sorry, but true. And let's say he's walking back out from that bedroom, and that's when Xana comes back in with her DoorDash order and sees him and starts crying. And that's why Dylan heard the cry. And that's why I think that Brian says, don't worry, I'm here to help you. But she sees that he has a bloody knife in his hand, so she's not going to scream. I know this is so morbid, but I'm just trying to put it step by step into, and that's why at that point, Dylan shuts her door, locks it, and then the neighbor surveillance cam hears a scream and a thud. And that's when I think that right after he said to Xana, I'm only here to help you, he does what he does to her. And that's done.
Yeah.
I know. It's so sad.
It is, but I mean, I guess it's an interesting theory. We'll see how much. It's just so much.
Of course. I mean, we have to wait to hear everything, but being that we're all here together and we're trying to make sense of it, because
definitely. I agree with what you're saying. I think, I mean, even the thought of the hamstring, because a lot of people in the chat are saying, like, it seems very speculative. Even the thought of it, like, ooh, okay.
But wasn't that in the affidavit that we read?
I don't remember hearing.
I'm pretty sure it was in the affidavit that we read that Ethan's injuries were slashes down to his hamstring. I don't think that was speculation. That was in the affidavit. And that's the only reason that I brought it up, because I'm not here to make.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are on the fence. That's what it's looking like. From what the chat is saying. So maybe, and I'll go back and I'll check it out. Maybe going back and checking it out. Do you remember a specific page that it said the hamstring? Do you remember where?
I don't, but when you come back up, maybe tomorrow or whatever, I'll look back on it and I'll come back up and let you know what I saw.
Sounds good. I appreciate you coming up, though. Thank you.
Of course.
Shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming
up. I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you. I'm going to be heading out soon, but thank you. All right, Alpha David, thank you so much for the $2. Alpha. Now we have a troll name. Well, I know you're not a troll. You're a supporter. And he gave us $2. He said, my name is Alpha David, and here's $2. Thank you for the super sticker. Tinkle Tits, here we go. By the way, DoorDash is a waste of money. LOL. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too, but I don't know. Oh my God. Tinkle Tits, $49.99. My first stepdad was a homicide detective, and that got me into true crime. Did it? Look, you never know the kind of stories that get people into true crime, period. You just never like what gets you there, what got you intrigued. I've always been intrigued with true crime for a long, long time, and was lucky enough to have been able to study it as an undergraduate and graduated with a behavioral science degree with it. So it's been great. But thank you so much for your support, Tinkletons. You're awesome. And everybody else, seriously, I'm gonna go back to the affidavit. Like I said, I'll probably come back tomorrow. I'm gonna talk about that whole hamstring thing. Just the thought of it, I'm like, oh my God, it's just ugh. But let me do a little rabbit twerking for all you great supporters out there. Let me see, let me see, let me see. And tell me what you guys think of Ashley. I mean, Ashley, can you start the year a little bit different? I don't know. We need to help her. Something needs to happen with Ashley. Alpha freaking David. You guys are too funny. Run with Scissors says sometimes it's nice not to waste money on delivery fees and tips as far as DoorDash goes. I would agree. Sometimes it's nice to get a little long drive. You never can get disappointed. And the food is in your car, not the stranger's car who probably had his dog sit there. You just never know. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Everybody's a little bit different. But shout out to you. That is for you. Let me do another rabbit's work for you all who joined us a little later, as well as those supporters. Thank you, guys. Sinner said, Alpha David is not a troll. He's here for the people. Thank you, Alpha David. Shout out to you. Thank you to Myra. Shout out to you. Thank you for stopping by. All right, guys. I have to head out. Hey, Melmac, I have to head out. Make sure you guys watch the replay. Remember, our goal is 325 likes on our video for today. So if you would like to support us that way, hit the like button. I got to head out, guys, because I'm feeling congested still. And I'll be back tomorrow. Rabbits out.